Marketing and selling is essential in your online business. And when you have the right strategies and mindset, you not only can make a lot of money, but you can change a lot of lives. Welcome to the Online Marketing Podcast, where we help course creators, membership owners, and coaches market and sell their offers.
We're your hosts, Paul and Melissa Pruitt. Let's dive in and get started.
What you do with this will make or break your launch.
Oh man, I'm nervous. I better cover this properly. Otherwise, they're not going to launch right.
This is a really key piece, and we're excited to share it with you today.
Yeah, so at this point, you're actually in the launch mechanism yourself. Like you are there, you filled it, you did all the promotion, you did the runway, you did everything, you got people into it. And really, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the moment that everything matters because you pre-influence people getting them up to this moment in time, right? So now you're most likely delivering some type of
content.
That
we're going to be talking about your launch content.
Yeah. So this is where we see so many people like drop the ball because it's so easy to get in your head. It's so easy to do so many little nuance, so many things in this moment in time that'll take all the energy, all the effort, all the list building, the audience building, the runway, all the social media content, all the things you did, even potentially paid ads to get people into this thing. Mm-hmm. And then it could just deflate in an instant.
Absolutely. So when it comes with your launch content, this is really all about being really intentional with what kind of content you share and also what kind of content you don't share. We're going to go into some details with that as well too, because that's just as important, exactly what you're sharing and not sharing during your launch.
Yeah. So if you think about it, with a launch, what we're doing is it's almost like, when we go to like the local mall or when we go to the boardwalks that are at our local regional beaches. I normally talk about the person that's paid that stands out in front of the storefront, more or less, and they have like little dishes. And in one case, it would be like down the beach area, it would be like the saltwater taffy, mm-hmm. or it would be the fudge, mm-hmm. Which I'm a chocoholic, by the way. So, but what ends up happening though is we're walking down. We have no intention. Well, wink, wink. We have no intention on going into that candy store, but I can spot that person from miles away. Now, yes. from a few hundred feet away, and what they're doing is they have a crowd, like a small crowd around them, because they're giving out a free sample. Mm-hmm. And in a way, that is what our content, our launch content, that's really what it's doing. It's giving people a taste. Mm-hmm. But what we see a lot of people do is they don't want to hold back. They want to go all out on their launch. They want to give everything in the world. And it's almost like they're saying, here's the pound of fudge. Go ahead and you're good to go. And what happens is like, if you give that to me for free, like I have no reason to purchase anything from you. It's like giving people a free 7-course meal and then expecting them to pay afterwards. Exactly.
Your launch content, there's a balance there. Again, you want to teach, you want to give value, of course. Of course, we want to give value. But again, this launch content, this is a mechanism. This is a sales mechanism. And I think that's one of the things that we talk about and what we coach people on is they get caught up in the launch and wanting to give so much value, which is awesome, that they forget that this is a sales mechanism. And just want to let everyone know you can give tons of value in your launch content without giving it all away and while guiding people to making an informed buying decision. And where you give people like all the goodness, like that pound of fudge is in that paid offer. In your paid offer, that's where the transformation lies, where you give all the information that your audience needs.
Yeah, and I think you said it very well because it's something that we have to remember that this launch is not the thing that we sell for a living. Like we're not going to if we went to our doctor's office and they just gave us free services all the time, we would never pay for it, right? If you had a restaurant or a bar or anything like that and you went there and you got free food and drinks all the time, we would never pay for it, right? So a lot of us, we accidentally, not being aware, we just put the whole house out there for a lot of people. We don't hold back anything. And then we ask people, and I think that's a mental trick, because I think in information world especially, that it's if I lead with value, if I give a lot, if I over deliver, then obviously more people would buy, right? But it's actually counterintuitive. The opposite happens. What ends up happening is people walk away from your launch and oh my goodness, you just gave me that 7-course meal. You just gave me those free drinks or that free fudge. I'm talking a lot of food this episode. But all these things, you just gave me all this for free and I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so content. I have so much I can work on because of all the value that you gave. you know what? I don't need to buy your thing right now because like I have a lot of things just from the free stuff that you gave me that I can work on for a long time. Like I'm not even ready to consider buying anything. And I think a lot of us don't realize we like self-sabotage in that process.
Absolutely. So when it comes to your launch content, think of ways that you can position yourself as an expert. That is really one of the key pieces with your launch content. Rather than giving it all away, how can you position yourself as an expert? How can you build a relationship with your audience? And how can you give value to your audience, give them some things, maybe some quick wins, but not completely satisfy their needs? Again, there's got to be a balance there with that.
Yeah. So if you think about it, like what we're trying to do through this launch mechanism, as Melissa was saying, is like position you, right? But at the same time, we're like hitting some other mental triggers like reciprocation, like we're leading with value. So giving them that sample, like that free sample to create that taste. And really what it is we're really trying to create desire. And the only way we can create desire is if we do hold back. If we do, this kind of has to be, there's the mystery piece to all of this. And if you give everything away, then that's like a magician showing the magic trick. You don't want to watch it a second time because you know how it's done. So the desire is gone, right? The curiosity is gone. So we want to use the launch content to position you properly as the expert. We want to do the reciprocation. There's other mental triggers that happen naturally during this period of time. But really what we're trying to do is get people to create natural tension, like positive tension, where it's that pressure, like, oh, now I want to know more. I want to lean in. I want to say yes to your offer because I don't want just like the taste or the appetizer. I want the entire meal at that point.
Yeah. And I know a lot of times when we're coaching our clients, and one thing that you say all the time is that it's really a disservice if you try to give people the entire transformation in the launch itself. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think I'm glad you brought that up because it's so easy to skip over and to think about. Because if you think about it truly, transformation a lot of time, like decisions are in an instant, right? We can make a decision, we can take an action in an instant. But for most of us, the true transformation happens over time. And what we do is a disservice is if we think like, okay, I'm going to pour in, give all my goodness inside of this launch. And it's like, I don't care if it's like a 1-hour webinar or a 5-day challenge or a training series where you're spending over several days. You are not giving people the opportunity to have that true transformation. So if you think about it, within an hour, can you really fix everybody's problem? Can you really give them that full transformation? So even if you give all the things that you want to give, you can easily overwhelm somebody. You can make something very complicated. Something seems very complex. You think like, wow, my 45 steps are really going to impress people. And they're going to walk away going, oh my goodness, your 1-hour thing was so complicated. I'd be afraid to go in your 5-week thing because you probably have like 20,000 steps that I need to go through. And we need to be careful of that because we are doing a disservice. We are being very selfish if we don't get better at launching, if we don't get better at presenting our content to create desire, because then we become the highest bidder of our own offer. Like we're the only one buying it if we don't guide people into that informed buying decision, that we are leading people in a very ethical manner to get to know who we are, to get to know that we're the right person, and the program or product or service that we're putting in front of them is the right mechanism for them to achieve that result that they desire. But we're really doing people a disservice if they feel or think at the end of your webinar, at the end of your training series, at the end of your challenge, or whatever mechanism that you're using in your launch vehicle, if they truly think that they got everything that they needed, then really we truly did a disservice to them.
Yeah. I'm glad you shared that. I think for us, really the biggest guideline is less is more. When it comes to launch content, less is more.
Yeah. So we're going through this step by step, and Melissa, knowing that less is more, knowing that people can get totally overwhelmed, with content itself. Maybe we have something that we can guide everybody, maybe step by step to maybe potentially create a framework that can make sure that they don't overdeliver, that they don't overwhelm. And maybe I'm doing that right now by talking about this so much. So Melissa, can you tell everyone what our freebie is that's going to help them with delivering their content?
Yes. So we have our free launch content framework. And this is really going to help you do exactly all that. Map out the framework for your launch content so that you can really give value to your audience during your launches, not overwhelm them, position yourself as the expert, and lead them to making a great buying decision into your paid offer. So if you go to the show notes, you can grab this freebie. It's the Launch Content Framework. Check it out and use this for creating all the content in your launches so that, again, you really are strategic with this, giving value, but then also remembering that this is a sales vehicle to lead to your paid offers.
Yeah, what a great topic today. That is an incredible freebie to be able to get. And I think at the end of the day, when it comes to delivering your content, it's all about the content. It's all about the content when it comes to your launch. This is the moment in time you're shining on the virtual stage or the real stage. You're guiding the people that you've influenced along the way, that you build a list with, or you're following with. This is the moment for you to shine. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to overwhelm. We don't want the people to think that they're completely satisfied, right? We want to make sure that they're desiring more, that they anticipate, and they want to go to the next step with you because, again, the law of reciprocation, you gave them love, you gave them valuable content, but you didn't give them the 7-course meal. And by then, you leading them into that step-by-step, they just are open and willing. They're like virtually waving their money at you, just saying, hey, you are the right expert. This is the right offer. This is the right opportunity. I want to say yes to your next step. And we need people to think that way through this entire process. This is a great episode.
Yeah,
today,
it was
Melissa.
an awesome episode. So if you loved listening today, make sure you subscribe to the Online Marketing Podcast. This is where we talk all things about marketing and sales in your business, and share it with a friend. Let them know this is what we do. We would love for them to join us.
Yeah. So don't forget to get that launch content framework. And outside of that, always remember you're just one launch away from becoming an adaptive marketer.
If you would like to work with us and our team to help you snap up more sales and incredible clients with a stellar marketing strategy that works, go to adaptivemembership.com and sign up for our wait list. We have a limited number of spots in our exclusive program to set you up for success and take action. We're waiting for you at adaptivemembership.com.